Hi everybody, welcome to Patron Week here on Spoiler Warning, where this time around, FTL finally won the vote by one vote, actually, preventing a three-way tie between itself, Monster Hunter, and Armello, which has now lost in second place like 4 times in a row. So I
always the bridesmaid.
Remember that game. We might do something with it at some point.
It's gonna get there eventually.
Yeah. And this is maybe one of my favorite roguelites.
Is it a roguelite?
That has come out of the indie. I mean, it's...
Oh no, don't start, please.
I mean,
I just mean that, like, this roguelites to me are more like, Dead Cells, where you actually make progress and grind. There's no grinding here. This game is a big middle finger to you, and you die over and over again, and that you don't make progress.
I mean...
It hates you. Your life is at the mercy of the random number generator.
In that you unlock different layouts of ships, which can do different things.
But none of them are better. They help in some ways, but they're not really like upgrades, really.
You know, the issue is that many roguelikes...
I mean, there are some that are better than others because of the way the layout works and whatever.
The issue is that many roguelikes themselves discourage grinding. I see, okay, the thing is, I lack the fortitude for roguelikes entirely. I have never beaten a roguelike. My wife has. I actually watched her do it. She beat Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup, and she said it felt better than graduating grad school. So, I see the appeal, but I have never even come close. And in fact, I played FTL for a single sitting. So that's how far I got with it.
We've got a number of different layouts of ships here, and different ship classes, and then each class has up to 3 layouts. I have most of these unlocked, some of them I have not. I basically have 2 questions here for you. 1, which of these looks interesting to do? And 2, how fucking hard do you want this to be? Because I can turn it way up and we can just die, or we could play on easy and just get through everything really easily, or there's
If you had no facility with the game, I would suggest we go easy on you, but apparently you've beaten this, so I think that we should choose the hard mode just to show people, like, the full potential of this game.
Okay.
For screwing you
I don't
over.
know if I've ever beaten this game on hard before. I know, like, it's certainly doable, but you gotta, like, make very smart choices and commit to them pretty early on and get some decent RNG rolls. So, let's see.
Wait, we actually gotta explain what this game is for people who haven't heard of it in the intervening 6 years. Basically, you are a ship. There's a wave catching up to you that will destroy you if it reaches you. You need to keep moving right. And eventually, you get into a boss fight and either win or die. And on the way, you get into lots of other engagements and explore a little bit and gather supplies, etc., etc. And it's very heavy on the random number generator. You can get really screwed over, or you can get really good stuff, and yeah. You're kind of just rolling the dice.
Trying to think about what ship to pick here for hard mode.
Okay, while you're picking that, one thing about this game, and one of the things which is sort of one of the E3 features, so to speak, is that when you get into a combat, you actually have a lot of control over the systems of your ship on like you're basically kind of like the ship's computer. Where like you have a fine degree of control over like even like the doors and the airlocks and stuff as your guys are fighting off pirates or what have you. And it actually looks really fun. It's a really fun game to watch.
I'm kind of tempted to do a stealth cruiser run.
Okay.
All right. This is going to be an interesting thing, because like we may just get totally destroyed immediately. Let's give this thing the appropriate name. What is it? 7, yep. I think, was what we got up to back in the Kerbal
Is that what you named? Oh, I think I distantly remember this now. Like, I came in and, like, I was cheering you on for a while until I discovered that you named all of your crafts the Buttscar.
So, The data you carry is vital to the remaining Federation fleet. You'll need supplies for the journey, so make sure to explore each sector before moving on to the next, but get to the exit before the pursuing rebel fleet can catch up. Tip, Death. Remember, losing is part of the fun. No, I'm serious. Yeah, thanks. All right, so
I disagree.
What do we got here?
I'll
like
be honest.
This layout.
I love losing as part of the fun kind of games, but like, I don't think the possibility space here is rich enough to support the idea that losing is fun, because inevitably you just get blown up. Like, Dwarf Fortress has a million wacky ways you could die. They're like, I've been watching a lot of BoJack Horseman because the new season came out, and they're all like Todd stories. Like, there's a wacky Todd story for every Dwarf Fortress universe you make. Here it's like, I ran out of fuel and died. My thing caught fire and I died. They shot me and I died. I don't...
Why does this thing have upgraded sensors? Okay, so let me very quickly explain what's going on here. We've got your ship's deck plan here. And you can move different people to different stations. People manning different stations has different effects, like someone manning the weapons will make the weapons charge faster. But you can still shoot without someone manning the weapons explicitly. However, if you don't have someone piloting the ship, at least initially, that means that the ship cannot move, and it also means that you get no evasion. You can juggle power between different systems, activate different abilities, like the ship has a cloaking device. We'll demonstrate that in a moment, undoubtedly. And that's basically how it works. We got the galaxy map here. So we're gonna jump across this sector to get to the exit, and then there's 8 sectors, and at the 8th sector we hit the boss battle. We basically need to grind up scrap, exchange scrap for new parts, and build a ship that can beat the boss while not dying. So
what length of time did your successful run take?
I mean, I've beaten this game many, many times, so
okay.
Usually, like, you can beat it in an hour or so, it depends.
All right, I guess we'll see how far we get this
time. So let's intervene to
hard.
defend a small fueling outpost. So, okay. Good, they do not have a drone, that's good. So we're gonna...
I like.
So we have no shields right now, which is bad.
I enjoy how we're not watching the ships fight fight each other in like the same map per se, because that really doesn't do a lot of justice to the concept of like space combat. It's actually pretty cool how we just sort of see, okay, here's our ship, there's their ship. It doesn't really matter where they physically are in space right now. Has the advantage of also being really easy to animate.
That's a lot of scrap right there. Oh man. I recently restarted, like I created a new profile and I've been playing through every ship on easy, and this is a fun level of challenge going down here.
Boy.
Like, I would have gotten like 50 scrap from that, and we got like about half, so I lost I disabled one of our engine bars there, so okay. Why does everybody have a beam? These beams suck. Can we kill this in, let's see. Yeah, we can kill this in one shot. So, what we're gonna do...
I don't know, I've also played a lot of their new game, the Into the Breach, and that is a game that just makes me have sads, because it's so hard and mean. Have you guys messed with it?
I have not, no.
It's the one where you're piloting 3 different mech warriors all at once and trying to control them. But it's sort of a turn-based strategy game where you can see where the enemy's moving the next turn so you can react to it.
Oh, I see. And it's just, you lose lots of people?
No, you don't want to lose people. Losing people is bad. What it really is they're attacking the city, and you're trying to protect the city while also protecting yourself.
Oh, I see.
So you need to like a monster will... Yeah, it'd be like a monster is gearing up to fire a missile at the city, and you could either push the monster out of the way, and it'll still fire, but it'll just fire in the one tile down, or you could jump in front of the missile and take damage yourself, or other things like that. But it's hard.
So we can hire this mercenary to delay the rebels, which prevents the rebels from moving into from the rebels from encroaching, basically, for 2 jumps. which could be helpful. Or we could have them scout the sector, which I find less helpful. That'll just reveal what's, like, some basic information about what's in each, system. Or we could fight them.
Fuck them up.
We could fight them, or we could just leave.
Just leave.
We don't
Actually, I think I
negotiate
want
with
to
pirates.
delay the rebels.
Okay.
We don't have
We'll
a lot of
negotiate with
scrap.
some
This will give
just
us more
as well.
time to... Why is our FTL not charged? What?
Because the
Oh,
game's
we're paused.
paused.
Sometimes it's difficult to see. So you can see, like, this is the rebels. They will slowly take over systems. Alright, let's see what's at the store.
Does the game do any exploration over like what the cause of the rebels are, or what kind of empire you represent?
We are the Federation, which is basically like the Star Trek Federation, from what I can tell. You know, we're pretty cool with aliens, and the rebels are human supremacists, and that's about all the backstory you get.
I see.
Okay. Wow, this is a lame store. Alright, we will fix the hull, and then leave. Oh, there's another store there.
There's intense competition between the crappy store and the good store.
This is also...
Sounds like every small town I've ever been to.
Oh, man. So we have to buy a shield system for 125 scrap, and we need to get that, so we should focus on getting as much scrap as possible here.
You know, in a weird way, this is actually making me flashback. So, I won't go too much into detail, but we've briefly moved to the middle of the country, and it was a road trip. And the process of driving out east halfway across the country was very interesting for a lot of reasons. But, like, sort of, come to think of it, it reminds me of nothing so much as this game.
So we've got occasional dilemmas, random events, where you can choose different things and different things happen. Notably, these things also have RNG, so like this could be bad or good. My docking with the ship could be bad or good. So we basically got a pirate ship that says, "Hey, we got extensive wares. You want to come on board and buy our stuff?"
In our unmarked, windowless spaceship.
The spaceship, like, that has pirate skulls on it.
You know what? I think we're good. We only have 20 scrap anyway. What are we gonna buy?
It could turn out to be something decent. Yeah, let's leave. Okay. Well, he's not gonna let us leave. Oh, shit. That could be bad. Ah, crap. They're gonna drain the oxygen.
So I'm here too, because I realize I haven't said anything. But it's because I have no interest in this game at all. And I'm gonna, like, it's, like, everything about it are just things I don't like. So I don't play it. Even though people are like, it's good, play it. I don't like playing games about Star Trek, though. Because the things I like about Star Trek are not the game things, right? Like, I really like, you know, the themes and the characters, and unless they came out with like like BioWare did like a Star Trek game, maybe like then they should do that.
I actually remember people having a lot of the same
It's called Mass
complaints.
Effect.
I actually remember people having a lot of
less dumb, like a smarter Mass Effect.
I actually remember, Alex, people voicing similar complaints about the Star Trek MMO when it came out.
Oh yeah, I've played STO, and I like the character creator a whole heck of a lot, but that's about it.
That game is a big disappointment.
Yep, it sure is. Although you can visit Morn in there, so that's a nice thing. They featured at least the good characters.
That's true.
There's
the best character in Star Trek.
Hold on, there's helicopters.
Coming for you?
No,
when does Star Trek Online take place?
The future of the Prime timeline.
Really? So Star Trek Online is that the furthest forward the timeline's gone?
Yep.
Yeah, because it incorporates everything from all the series, essentially.
So, Josh, if I understood what you're trying to do there, you were actually trying to, like, suffocate those pirates while they were trying to knock your door down? And that didn't work out
So what I
very
did
well.
was, we've got these subsystems. Like, I could have just kept chasing them around the ship, but I don't feel like it. We can easily kill them. So what I did was I moved our green guy over to, our green guy, his name is Ken, over to the door system here to strengthen the doors. Because if you have someone manning one of the 3 subsystems down here, it like is the equivalent of having another level of that system. So I reinforced the doors so they couldn't just walk through them, and then started venting oxygen to soften them up a bit. And they shot the sensors while that was happening. So. Okay. Oh, God damn it. I wonder if...
Go ahead.
The,
Difficulty just makes everything
the
as violent.
events in... Yeah, like, I wonder if the events in hard mode are more often dangerous.
But that seems like a cheap way to balance the RNG.
Yeah, well, to be honest, that's exactly what I would expect from FTL. Like, for whatever, you know, even the people who really like this game generally admit that, you know... Okay, well, I was about to say something a little too strong. I was going to say that they admit the RNG is sometimes bullshit, but what's more accurate is to say that it's harsh, but there's usually ways around it, is the consensus of a lot of the best players.
Sometimes ships will try to surrender, and they'll usually give you more fuel or drone parts or ammo. For scrap, we want scrap right now, so no. Goodbye. Yeah, that worked out.
Goodbye.
Okay. We need to fix this fire in the door system.
Yep, that's how you put out a fire. You stand right inside it and you spray a fire extinguisher at the wall. You gotta show the fire you're not afraid of it. You can't blink.
What is the cost of repairing?
It doesn't cost anything to like have people repair subsystems like that, but it does cost money to repair hull at shops.
So the one thing I really like about this game, and it's the one thing the game really tries to sort of emulate from Star Trek, is this idea that there are multiple subsystems on the ship. I love that mechanic of trying to maintain like a functional thing. I don't know why. I'm not like a car
No
guy.
other game does this.
Yeah.
Well, do we want to pay a toll? No.
That's a lot of
Yeah.
That's a lot of crap. There are other games that try to do it, but it's just no game does it quite like this. There's stuff like Star Trek Bridge Crew. I actually got a little bit of this feeling when playing Moon Crash, because you had to pay attention to what systems were failing and go back and fix them. So it's like you were playing upkeep with the entirety of the moon base. But things like that, I love that sense of like understanding a very big, complicated system and being able to maintain or fix it, and like how to counter it when things go wrong, like moving energy from one system to another, or using systems to fight other things going wrong. I love when that happens. Like the combat in this game is terrible, but I love the ship maintenance part.
I'm gonna guess most of you guys haven't played it, but there's actually a Root board game that's really good at simulating this stuff, which is more impressive because it's a board game. But have any of you guys played Space Cadet?
I have
I've
heard of it.
seen it being played.
Like in person, or is there like somebody play it online that maybe we could link to it?
I feel like I remember, like that name rings a bell, and I do remember playing some sort of like game like that.
Right.
Actually.
But
I like I get like spoon-fed board games from whoever just shows up with them. I'm like, okay, we're playing this. So my memory's not too good.
We've got friends who like buy a lot of the board games. Our own collection tends to accumulate much slower. But how the game works is that... Oh, well, go ahead.
There's some moral dilemma kind of stuff. So the rebel ship is distributing supplies to civilian colonies. Do we want to attack the rebels, wait and steal the supplies from the civilians, or just leave?
Combat's actually been going really well for us.
So we want to attack these rebels who are distributing supplies to civilian colonies. Yeah. Like, that's the thing, is like they're attacking or stealing, like these are both kind of the same, morally speaking. Like, is it worth it to put, to potentially risk losing the war by not having the critical supplies and not getting as many supplies as possible?
Yeah, I guess number 2.
Stealing from these. Oh, you want me to steal from the civilians instead? Okay. Alright.
Yeah, war as hell.
Oh, the cargo was booby-trapped. Thanks. Oh, wow. That was a great decision. I'm glad we did that, Rutskarn.
Drag stuff. Hey, just remember, if you ever take advice from me, I have never successfully played this game.
It sounds like nobody here has except me, so...
Well, define successfully. I mean, I've gotten like halfway through it.
Which means that we're just the sort of outsider maverick opinion that you should be listening to, so you don't get caught up in your successfully knows how to play FTL echo chamber. But anyway,
we're not using drone parts. We can do that.
How Space Cadet works is there's a board where there's your ship and like on a grid, there's all the enemy ships and stuff, and they have like automated turns that they make with I think some RNG elements. But each person has like a posting on the ship, and there's like a mini game that they play to determine how successfully they do a thing. So the turn order is the captain like starts a 1-minute timed discussion where they're like, all right, here's what you need to do. Here's what you need to do. What are we gonna, where should we divert our shields? All right, we're gonna move there and we're gonna fire. And then everybody plays the mini game and hopes that they successfully do whatever they're supposed to. And the very first time we played, like I and Common were the two like new recruits. Where like Common and I were the two people who'd never played it before, and I get stuck with shields, Common gets engine, and so we're coming up, and there's 2 pirates ahead of us, like with a space between them, and we're talking like, okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna ride up, we're gonna divert all shields to the front. Engine crew try to move us like right in front of them, and then weapons fire it directly ahead. And so we all start doing our mini game, and we come up, and I successfully had put all of our shields in front. And Common had Tokyo drifted us directly between the 2 ships' guns. Nice. So on the second turn of the game, they both opened fire and destroyed half of our systems. And like we're flipping all these cards to show like ship damage and like systems damage. And we actually went on to win the scenario, but it was actually really exciting because like it felt like we were an inexperienced ship crew who just completely fucked up 5 seconds into our first space battle.
Do we need 120 or 125 to get the shield?
I want to say it was 120.
It's 120. Yeah, we're just gonna fight one more ship here. Oh, that's bad.
And die. When we could have just gone to the store.
Let's see here. So that is a laser beam drone that they have. That thing will fire beams very quickly. Oh, dear God.
Oh, yeah, it looks like they locked the cockpit there,
the weapons. Ah, shit.
This does not look great.
This may be bad. Yeah, we may have just lost.
See, this is what I hate, is like, it's not an interesting story. We ran into a badass ship that immediately killed us is not an interesting lose scenario the way that a lot of things are in, like,
Dwarf Fortress. My downfall in Dwarf Fortress began when my colony's, like, best citizen was killed by a monkey.
See, that's an amazing story. I want to hear more of that story.
The problem is that I can't tell it because I actually didn't see it happen.
We are super dead.
I was just like, where's that citizen? And I like looked in the history and it's like murdered by a monkey? What the fuck? Where? I didn't even see any monkeys.
And that's how the dwarf 28 days later started.
Yeah.
They need to introduce, like, diseases into Dwarf Fortress.
My favorite fortress.
Alright, so that's losing on hard mode there.
You can look it up. I guess I won't talk too much about it because there's a comic for it that's actually really good.
Nice. Good score.
Yeah, 686.
Yeah, 86.
Josh got 86.
So if you're wondering how when I played the game it was that much faster.